Mr. Otter Dude here with another knife review. This is the Columbia River Knife and Tool Side Hawg. This is the original Side Hawg. No longer produced, but still available on eBay and other online sites. Thought you might like seeing it. I'll get it out of the package real quick. There's a little, came in this little box. It has a little catalog. Okay. Open it up. Ooh. Alright, there we go. Comes with a little lanyard and clip. Okay, this is an interesting knife. I decided to go ahead and review it and see what you thought. It's of all my knives, I've never used this one at all. This is probably the least useful in some ways, but in some ways it's really the neatest. It was designed by Mike Franklin. He designed it originally as a utility knife. It's a skeleton knife, and what's so cool about it, if you look at it, it does not have. It's on this little post. It has a stainless steel post. It has a little stainless steel clip. It's all drilled out. It's got a sheath plate instead of a sheath. It's made of Zytel hard plastic. The knife snaps on. It's machined the same as the sheath. It snaps onto this little post, and then it drops down, and it clicks into place. It's got a ledge here, little ridge, and it's flat ground on one side only. So it's got what we call a chisel grind. So you can see, you can rub your fingers over it, you won't cut yourself. Kind of neat. It's just a neat little concept, and it's got this clip on it here, that you can hook right here, and hook it onto a belt loop, that sort of thing. And when you pull up on, if you have it hooked to your belt and you pull up on the knife right here, it breaks free. You pull it up, and with a good hard yank, you can break it free. It says that it was designed for fast one-hand opening, and I find that's not true. This is not a fast opening knife, but a fast deploying knife at all. Here I'm going to show you the sheath and the knife separate from each other. Put those up there, right there. Okay. You can see it says on this side, it says Mike Franklin Side Hawg. Put that up close to the. I don't have a tripod, so I can't see what is in the viewfinder of my camera. I'll tell you a little about the knife first before I put it back in here. It's a skeleton knife. It's beautifully machined. It's made of 420 J2 stainless steel. This knife is made for Columbia River Knife and Tool in China. This is the first Chinese knife I've purchased. Again, I purchased this knife for $7.95 on a closeout. It originally sold for around $18.95. It's got a finger choil, or right here, little place for your finger. Two of your fingers below the index finger will fit nicely on the handle. So it's a 3-finger knife. The pinky doesn't fit on the knife. It's got finger grooves right up on top of the blade here. Gives you a really good grip. Black finish. The blade is 1.6 inches long. The overall length of the knife is 4.5 inches, or a little at 4.3 inches maybe. It's hardened to Rockwell 54 to 56, so we'll say 55. Rockwell 55 is about the minimum for a useful knife blade for hardness. Very similar to your Swiss Army knives. They're stainless steel and hardened to Rockwell 55. The point again is a modified drop point. The knife is touted as being easy to clean. It is beautifully done. One thing about 420 J2 steel, it's considered almost not cutlery steel. It's considered about as porous steel as you want to use. They use it because it machines so nicely. And in addition to that, it is probably the most stainless of the stainless steels. So if you can get it adequately hard for everyday use, it can make a good knife. This knife is probably heat treated properly. I don't know because I haven't used it. I did sharpen it up a little bit, and it takes a really good sharp edge. How long that'll last when I start cutting boxes open remains to be seen. The knife, to me, some people would buy this knife. They'd look upon it as a self-defense knife, and it isn't. This is not a defensive blade. I suppose any knife in your hand, if you had to defend yourself, is a self-defense knife. But this isn't the knife I'd choose. First of all, when it goes in the sheath, pretty nicely, snaps, it's secure, but when you want to deploy it, you can see it rides up, goes up, and then you have to pull on it to break it free from the stainless steel post. It's not a good, fast, one-hand opener. I would never want to try to get this thing out under the stress of being attacked. I've been attacked before, and I don't think I could. I could get pepper spray out before I'd want to get out any knife, especially this thing. This, where it's really at its best, is as a box cutter. It's got a good box cutting package opening blade on it. There are other my Swiss Army florist knife or a gardener knife, I think would be more useful than this knife. And this knife, you can get it on eBay now for around 12 bucks. You can get the Swiss Army knife for 12 bucks. I'd prefer that to this. But again, where this knife really has value is as a collectible. It's cool. It's got a high degree of coolness, and it's very well done. The fit, the finish, everything is very nice for a Chinese model knife. You know, I mean, they did it. They knew what they were doing. They did a good job on it. The knife, by the way, weighs 1.8 ounces. With the sheath, it's 2.7 ounces. It would be a good weight for a neck knife, but I wouldn't want to wear it around the neck. This thing here has a rotating lanyard, so you never know if you grab the knife. You never know whether it's going to be facing this way or facing up like this or facing that way. So that's not so great. But even if you put a paracord on it for neck carry, getting this thing out is not that easy. Now, it's getting better and better since I goofed with it. But I see this again as put it in your pocket, hang it from your belt, utility knife. And I think there are better models out here. So this one maybe we'll say that this knife is worth what I paid for sure, $7.95. But it's really at its best as a neat little novelty. If you don't pay more than $15 with shipping, it would be worth putting it in your collection, especially if you bought the Side Hawg 2 or the Side Hawg 3. The Side Hawg 2 has a longer blade than this and a more useful shape. I think that's, it would be, again, a worthy design, but I don't, in the sheath, again, the sheath is really neat, this sheath plate. But when it comes to fast deployments, it's not my favorite. Here, just to show you, here's a cold steel Urban Pal push dagger type knife. These two, look at them here, these two have a very similar blade shape. Okay, take the Pal, hold it like this. You can slice open boxes like crazy. This is really neat. And the Pal, it has the poorest sheath ever invented for knives, in my opinion, because your knife can easily push out of the sheath. This one's real tight. It would surprise me. But the Pal, hung on a chain, is a great little bicycling knife. And a good utility knife just to have on your person. Maybe a little more useful. For about the same price, you can get both. You can get this for around 12 bucks online, and the Pal for around 12 bucks. But again, it's for the coolness and the uniqueness of design. I think it's worth 12 bucks, maybe 10 bucks if you get it. Silver finish might cost a little more. You might be able to pick up this black. Black finishes almost always cost less online, so you might want to look for that. Well, that's enough of this. This is the Columbia River Knife and Tool Side Hawg 1, the original Side Hawg. If you see it online, see it on eBay, take a look at it, and if it appeals to you, give it a shot. Mr. Otterdude signing off.